What is going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope you're all enjoying your day today. Let's go to just dive right into our daily cryptocurrency market analytics for today. We're going to be doing a technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Tron, and some other coins just to look at where prices may be headed, if we can predict any sort of breakouts coming. As you all know, yesterday, if you're a Patreon, the link is in the description below, we sent out over 11 trade alerts and 10 of them resulting in profits. You can see we've had over 100% profits in the last 24 hours just because of all of these altcoins starting to go up in value. If you guys want to get these trade alerts, the link is in the description below. But we're going to be talking about how we are predicting all of these breakouts, which altcoins to watch, and which ones have not yet broken out. As you can see, all of these trades resulting in profits for all of our Patreons. So hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of that. I see here some people did. This guy says, first trade alert I've entered, I made a good 7% off of it. Good for you, brother. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this is happening. You see how altcoin is starting to go up in dominance. Bitcoin went from 45% down to 40%. Well, if we're looking at Bitcoin's chart, you can see we're starting this horizontal channel. We formed a head and shoulder pattern yesterday. If you don't know what a head and shoulder is, we have a free resource. It's in the description below. It's called the Discord. And you can actually go on here and look at all of these different patterns and what they indicate. And obviously a head and shoulders top is a reversal pattern. You can see the breakout reversal appears right in the bottom right hand side. And we actually did not see that. It got rejected. And then you can see as soon as it got rejected, we started to see price levels go back up to these known resistance levels of around 8,200, but we have not yet broken past that. And while this is all happening, we're starting to see many more altcoins starting to move. So what we're going to do is move out to the one-day chart here, just to give you an idea of what we're seeing here with RSI. So every time Bitcoin has bounced off of this 53, we've seen it break out to new highs, and anytime it's dropped below and has not seen any sort of support at these higher RSI levels, it's went and seen some further decline. So this time we did bounce. Thankfully, did not bounce at 53. It bounced at 51, but that's good enough to indicate a trend is occurring right now, and we're starting to go back up and testing these 60 levels, which if we pass 60, in my opinion, that's the perfect time to put in a position in Bitcoin to expect the breakout and buy the confirmation. Never buy before a confirmation, especially if you're buying a breakout. So this is the point that I'm watching here to see if the RSI can finally move right through that. And then that's also going to coincide with this hourly chart. And if we break out from these known resistance levels of 8,200, that is the confirmation to go ahead and enter a position. But until then, we're going to be looking at coins like Ripple, for example, here, forming this beautiful cup and handle. If you don't know what a cup and handle is, once again, on our Discord resource, you can see exactly how this cup and handle forms with the breakout initiating right at that right-hand side of the handle. And we can also see we're starting to see known resistance levels being met here with current price levels. So what we're watching for at this point is for this RSI to start to see some sort of retracement, bounce off of this 60, forming this handle, and that's going to be the perfect entry point for Ripple. You can see this negative divergence here with the volume as well. If we were to go to this 1 hour chart, you can see how the volume is starting to decrease, which is something you want to see whenever you're looking at any sort of cup and handle, because once again, the cup and handle, to form the actual handle, you need a decrease in low trading volume. So interesting pattern here, a potential breakout coming soon. I think the best entry point, once again, would be when this RSI can retrace, bounce off of that 60, and then we see that handle form to then go ahead and confirm the cup and handle pattern is forming. And then the next coin, XVG, announcing a partnership with one of the largest adult entertainment companies in the world yesterday, and then the price tanked. Why? Well, you want to buy the news. I'm sorry, buy the hype and sell the news. Talking about buy the hype and sell the news, someone made a rap for us here. Let me go ahead and throw this rap out here. Shout out to one of our Twitter fans here. He sent me a private message. He's like, you keep trying to rap in your videos. Let me just write you a rap. And this is the actual rap. Let me go ahead and do it. I don't know if I should. Shout out to Flash Creatures. Should I do it? Let's ask the live audience. Let's see here. I'm all in says, thanks, tipster. Puvel says, George predicted XVG. Tipster says, do you not use auto quality, guys? Pick the right quality based on your speed. That is funny. Somebody said, Verge falling wedge, possibly. So here's the rap. I'm a crypto trading machine. My name is Naeem. I wear no pants when I broadcast my stream. Trading late nights so I can buy me some steam. And I'm not going to say the rest because it gets inappropriate. But other than that, we got a ton of people on our live audience now. Will Hayden in the house. Anti-gay IRA. I should have never said that. Now we're going to start controversy. Somebody says, Agent McQueen, a beard. Yes, it's forming. Now it's forming. Somebody said, pump the likes so that he can keep the beard for 300 likes. I will do that. We have 305 people watching. 300 likes will grow the beard like Osama bin Laden for 300 likes. And now the likes go up like always. It's like a freaking game show here. So anyways, looking at XVG, let's go ahead and dive into the technical analysis. We can see we're consolidating to known Fibonacci retracement levels back down to the 0.38. And what's going to be interesting here is you can see we've seen the largest amount of sell volume in Verge's history, being the fact that they made this announcement and a lot of people wanted to take their profits knowing that once again, even in traditional markets, when there's a successful earnings call, 9 out of 10 times the stock price tanks. So it's the same thing here, right? When you have a good quarter, it's like, well, great, let's take our profits, right? We had a great quarter. How much better can it get? It's the same concept here in the crypto market. I am waiting to get a position in Verge, as a lot of coins would have loved to have the partnership that Verge has now created with MindGeek and these adult entertainment companies. Therefore, there's going to be a lot more use case for Verge. So I want to get a good long-term position, and I'm waiting for this RSI to start to go back down to these known lower levels below 40, hopefully to see some levels of oversold RSI so that we can go ahead and enter a position with confidence, knowing that prices can start to head up. And really, you can see here March 19th, when we started to see a little bit more hype, the price of Verge was right around 386 Satoshis, and now we're almost double at around 802 Satoshis. So I think we're still a little bit overpriced right now. I think we need a little bit more of this hype to wear off before we start to see better levels for Verge. And you can see we're straight on our way down here. If we look at the MACD, the fast length crossed right over that slow length, and you can start to see the histogram starting to form, which means we're starting to see more and more sellers come to the market for Verge. So I would wait if you are trying to get a position in Verge. Let's move on to Ethereum and talk about this rounding bottom that's forming here with Ethereum. If you don't know what a rounding bottom is, very similar to how you have a cup and handle, but the cup and handle comes from a breakout, but a rounding bottom is the opposite, where it comes from a retracement, but also forms a breakout pattern. And we're seeing exactly that here with Ethereum, as it's seen some extreme declines and now starting to form this rounding bottom, starting to get to the point where it's going to form this handle. And what I'm waiting for at this point, if we pull up the 1 day, if you look at this RSI, we are testing that 60. I think we're going to pull back minutely, possibly down to around 55 to 50, hopefully staying within this neutral zone as we've done in the past, then to see this handle form, completing this pattern of the rounding bottom, to then go ahead and see the initial breakout. You can see we're starting to see this MACD curve, which is an indicator of lower volume as well. So you can see how this is starting to curve down. You can see if we pull up the volume 2, there is that decline in volume. So we're going to wait for that handle to form with that negative divergence right over here. So that's what I'm waiting for Ethereum. I think that there's still going to be a little bit more of a better chance to get a position in later down the road as soon as this retraces a little bit down, so that we can see this handle form. And then you can also see we are approaching this resistance at the Fibonacci level, which obviously is a known resistance level, and we're seeing the resistance there with its price, and that's going to be at the 0.61. So that's what we're watching right now with Ethereum. Very interesting there. And let's go ahead and move on to one of my favorite coins here, the Binance coin, one of the most intrinsically valuable coins in the market in my opinion. But before that, we're going to go ahead and take some questions from the live audience. Somebody says the price of lag has increased today. Baratica74 says can barely get a sentence out. Tipster says turn down your bitrate in OBS. It will fix the lag. At SniperSuit9, turn down your bitrate in OBS. It will fix the lag. Well, hopefully this isn't lagging for everyone. Maybe if you put the quality down to be a little bit better. Camerata said, now that some of us missed the buy the news on BAT, when would be the next best time to get in on BAT? So Basic Attention Token announcing a partnership today, making the coin go up in value. Here's what I'll tell you. Whenever you see something, see any sort of exuberance, just like we saw with Verge, wait for the retracement before putting in a position. There's always going to be more and more opportunities in this market. There's never a shortage of opportunities. Yesterday we had 10 successful calls, and one of them were not successful. It's actually still in the buy zone heading towards the take profit zone. So we're still waiting on that. So it's not necessarily not successful. It's just not yet in the take profit zone. But understand that opportunities come every single day, right? Sometimes there's no opportunity. Sometimes there's a ton of opportunity. Sometimes there's a very little opportunity. So you just have to know where the opportunity is, how to identify it, and then going ahead and trading that opportunity, taking the risk necessary, finding more upside than downside. And that's the one recommendation I can give. Buy the confirmations, don't just buy the hype. So looking at the Binance technical analysis, we're seeing this cup and handle form. The handle is starting to form. This may be the one coin that is most poised for a breakout right now. And what I mean by that is you can see this RSI is starting to dip down low back to these known support levels. And every time we've seen the RSI hit 37, it's bounced significantly higher. And that's an obvious pattern that you have to be aware of right now. And know that any point in time right now, if you were to dollar cost average your position in the Binance coin, it is most likely a good time to get in. And what I'm expecting is for this RSI, as you can see what I drawn out here, for the RSI to dip down and bounce here. So I'm waiting for a little bit more of a retracement, knowing that the volume, you can see this negative divergence once again forming right there with the handle. It's exactly what we're looking for. And then they're also doing another coin burn at the end of this month, which once again, from the past 3 coin burns now, we've seen a huge exuberance in prices. The third one was the coin burn, in which we saw the exuberance prior to the coin burn, but the last 2 were right before the coin burn. So I'm expecting this to see a retracement and then see the hype come back, and we're most likely going to see it retrace back down to around 14,297 Satoshis, because that's where we found previous support levels. And in my opinion, that's going to be enough to take this RSI a bit lower to go ahead and bounce off of this known support level to then see that breakout here. And you can see the MACD is still curving down, but this is getting quite overstretched, and it's starting to go ahead and fit within the past levels that we were at before. And you can see this is where we started to see this curve all the way back, and then seeing that breakout. We're starting to see that right now. So I'm expecting this to start curving this way, and then that initiating the perfect entry point for the Binance coin, which is what I am looking forward to. So any questions from the live audience? Investors of Crypto, shout out. He says, Naeem is the man. Texas loves you, bro. Thank you for that video you made the other day. He made a video about the top crypto YouTubers, and I was honored to get his #1 pick. So thank you, Investors of Crypto. That means a lot. Tipster says you can't rewind it because it's a live stream. Rewind it once the live stream is done. Yes. Mike D says, when the F is Litecoin going to get over 150? It will probably get there soon. Litecoin, once again, is a coin that has such a significant amount of volume in comparison to coins like Bitcoin Cash, which is ahead of Litecoin in total market cap. And it doesn't make sense because Litecoin has more use case right now. It's been around longer, right? I remember Litecoin back in 2013 when I used to trade Bitcoin, and it was like the baby brother of Bitcoin, and it's always been like that. Brandon N., interesting comment, says, I'll be moving on to another exchange from GDAX in the near future, and was wondering if you could recommend a great fiat to crypto exchange. Looking to invest in other cryptos besides BTC, ETH, and LTC. Brandon, I would just use Binance. That's probably the best exchange right now for altcoins. Has a lot of liquidity and is extremely fast and simple, and there's a lot of API capabilities, and there's also a really cool program, which I'm going to talk about in our next live stream, that can help you set up trailing stop losses and take profits at the same exact time. Because remember, whenever you're going to create your risk management technique, you want to make sure you have entry and exit points, but having stop losses is extremely important to manage risk to a certain percentage. So we're going to be talking about that. Somebody says, are you going to the conference in Dubai? Yes, by the way, I am going to be heading to a conference in Dubai with Brock Pierce, co-founder of EOS, founder of Blockchain Capital, very huge prominent name in the cryptocurrency sphere. And all of you are also invited. I have a 20% off code. The link is in the description below. Here is a little preview of the conference and what to expect if you are planning to head over there with me, and we can go ahead and meet up too. So we'll go ahead and speed this little trailer up, and hopefully you guys can enjoy this.
Futurama, Dubai, 2018. What does the future hold for us? What can be done to create a better world? Join an exclusive gathering with the world's sharpest crypto minds, the latest blockchain ideas, projects, and gadgets, wild networking, an amazing golf cruise experience. Get inspired to reach further by the most advanced artificial general intelligence. Cruise crypto style aboard a 220-foot yacht and share stories to fuel your journey. You will be staying at the exquisite Maidan Hotel. You will meet some of the most influential speakers in the crypto world. Brock Pierce, John McAfee, Miko Matsumura, Joshua Hung. Enjoy all of this in Dubai. One of the
Just keep this between me and you. I heard John McAfee went crazy and is not invited anymore.
most technologically advanced cities in the world. And stay for the Desert Rose Party, a Burning Man-like experience, beautifully curated 3D mapping, and so much more. Join the future. The future is now. Futurama, Blockchain Innovators Summit in Dubai, 2018. Coinsbank.
And then comes the sponsorships. So let's take some audience questions and discuss the current state of the market with the audience here today before we end this live stream. I think it's going to be fun to have a little bit of more interaction here. Bearded Lady said, "You and Doug P are the best people I watch on YouTube. Great views from opposite ends of the spectrum. Both knowledgeable people. Do you know or speak to Doug?" No, Doug Polk Crypto is an awesome individual, though. He does very well in his own sense in poker, and he's very entertaining in crypto as well. So shout out to him. But we don't have any sort of personal connection, but maybe we will soon. Unknown Now says, "When is your conference in San Jose and San Francisco?" Good question. That conference will be in June, and that will be June 26th and 27th, and it's called the Blockchain Connect Conference, and I do have a discount code that I will be releasing on Twitter, so follow us on Twitter if you do want that. Crypto Man says, "BTC bull trap." I wouldn't consider this a bull trap yet. We rejected off of the head and shoulders, so we did not drop below these resistance levels or these support levels as I had predicted. We were either going to go down to 7,400 or be rejected, and we rejected and went right back up to these known resistance levels. So we're forming a horizontal channel. So at this point, it's really just watching if Bitcoin can break through and we can confirm this breakout, or if it's going to go ahead and drop below. And either or, there's not that much risk at this point. So that's why I'm focused more on altcoins. That's why we had 10 trade alerts yesterday that all resulted in profits, because that's really where my focus has been. We've seen a ton of profits in these trade alerts. Look at this. This was over a 10% gain right here. We had Tron that was over a 10% gain as well. Nano was pretty good as well. So I'm focused more on these altcoins as we start to see this dominance shift more towards altcoins. Jesse Compton says, "June and July is reserved for the World Cup." Interesting. Aldo says, "Orlando can be a great location for a blockchain convention." Yeah, they have one of the largest convention centers in the world there. Sultan says, "They can't fork your personality, Naeem, the man." Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Vince says, "What alts have the dev capability to achieve their tech paper and roadmap?" I would say Zilliqa is probably one of the most undervalued altcoins right now. They just launched their testnet, if you have not heard about it. And I've been talking about Zilliqa for quite some time, and it's already about 40% up since we've started talking about it. So Multi-Coin Trade says, "You have to recognize that XVG is the Christopher Columbus to all cryptos because it's opened the door to the other alts that will come behind." Absolutely. I think any coin would love to have had that partnership with MindGeek and all of the other companies that Verge has partnered with. That's why I'm waiting, once again, for this price to head down. I'm going to lock that stinking position in Verge, and I'm going to keep that position because I think that Verge is going to have a very nice use case later down the road. And it's a success story. You know, it's a fork of Dogecoin, which was a joke, but it's created something that's being, used by a large company. That's a big deal, right? It's all about drive and determination. Remember, it's about having a quarterback determined. Tipster says, "Hit like now. Naeem got beard." Yes. Oh no. If we hit 300 likes, I got to grow my beard. Hopefully we didn't hit 300 likes, or I'll have to end this stream right now so that we don't hit it. Did we hit it? Oh my gosh. No, please tell me we didn't hit it. What are we at right now? 109. Woo. Thank God. Okay. I know we have over 300 viewers. I thought that's what you meant when you said that. Mohammed Al-Rabi says, "Stellar by the end of 2018. I think Stellar is going to make a move up just like EOS recently did. But EOS is all speculative value right now. Investors of crypto will ETN recover? Electrum, in my opinion, it's distributed upon so many miners right now that I still believe it has a ton of use case left or to come. And the reason I say that, they just recently, about a month ago, signed a partnership with over 100,000 users involved in the partnership, and they're still trying to create and negotiate more deals. So I am keeping up with Electrium, and I still have my position there. Little Hello Kitty says smash the likes. Thank you, Little Hello Kitty. I think you're the one that initiated the one in the last stream where I almost had to make that beard commitment. But I'm not planning to grow this. I want to make it look nice, obviously, because we did get a bet before about me growing it, but we never said grow it like Osama bin Laden. So I'm not going to do that, hopefully, as long as we don't have 300 likes, which I think we just went up to 162, which is ridiculous. Mike D says 500 likes and Naeem will twerk. I'll do that for 500 likes. I'll twerk right now. For 500 likes. This is a game show. Alex Dumitru says, have you anything to say about Ether Blue Crypto? Keep on keeping on. I don't have anything to say about those. Sorry. Yoni says, hey, Naeem, I think DNT BTC formed a massive bullish pattern. Could you do a quick TA on that coin, please? Yeah, why not? Let's do a DNT TA really quick. Let's see if we found a potential breakout that I can just call out right now on this stream. So this is what I do when I'm looking for breakouts. You want to know how we predicted 10 breakouts yesterday? Number one, you go into this one-day chart and you see the overall trend, right? You can see we broke out of this contracting falling wedge here. So you've got this contracting falling wedge that was forming. We broke out of that recently. So that obviously was showing a sign of a reversal. And now we're forming this ascending channel with known support levels. And now what I'm watching for is this RSI. You can see positive convergence here, RSI, very, very steep, and it's high. And has it already broken 60? Yes, it has. That means it's bullish, right? You can see we tested 60, and then we finally broke past it, very bullish. So this right here is a potential breakout. MACD, what are we seeing here? Okay, well, look at that. You can see a known resistance of the MACD is up here, another known resistance is up here, and we're nowhere near either of those. We still have a little bit of room to go, and you can see we just curved back and recharged. The fast length is starting to head back up. In my opinion, very bullish sign there. Let's go ahead and go into the 1 hour chart now. Let's see if we can predict this breakout. So with this 1 hour chart, now we can go ahead and make our support levels a little bit more concrete here by drawing them out more specifically. And then we can see if we can determine any further patterns here. So if we see any patterns here, we can see a couple fractal rounding bottoms here. 1, 2, 3, and it seems like it might be forming another one. Every time the RSI goes above 60 here, you can see on the 1 hour chart, it typically retraces back down. So I'm going to probably expect a little bit more of a retracement. I wouldn't call this trade alert right now if I was looking at this coin for a trade alert. I still think there's going to be a little bit more of some retracement left. We're probably going to form another fractal pattern here. So you can see here with this cup forms, there's just a ton of little cups within cups. You can see this is about to form, and I'm expecting maybe this to form. The best entry point would most likely be right here if this were to form, and then that entry point would be at the bottom of the cup that forms next, which would most likely be on this ascending support line. So at that point, RSI would most likely see its retracement back to recharge itself to then see more bullish signs. So that's what I would be looking for. So in this coin, I would say that it may be due for a breakout soon, but the entry point is probably best in the next 5 to 10 hours, depending on how fast this price moves. And then you can also see with this negative divergence with the volume as well, volume is starting to decrease, which isn't always a bad thing. I like to see high volume then decreasing volumes, because that typically indicates that if it's decreasing, attention has worn off, prices has been able to retrace and recharge to then eventually see more and more volume, just like we predicted the breakout with Bitcoin. Little Hello Kitty says, love your show, buddy. Thank you. No problem. Somebody says, can you look into AION? Let's do another one. Let's see if we can find another potential breakout, something that might be breaking out fairly soon. So I think this was a trade alert that we actually had at one point, and that's why we have all these different areas drawn out already. And if we were to actually look at this one here, you could see RSI would be way too high for me at this point. So we've already broken past 60. I don't like to initiate a trade alert right like at these higher RSI levels. And it depends, right? You know, if you look at this MACD, you can see we're already quite overstretched, heading towards these known resistance levels. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a breakout at this point. I wouldn't really feel confident making this call. And remember, we're looking for more upside than downside potential. So knowing we've already seen this huge exuberance, I am expecting a little bit of consolidation, especially because the whole market over the past couple of days has seen quite the number of gains. We can most likely expect retracement over the next couple of days, right? It's always going to be a green wave followed by a red wave, followed by a green wave, followed by a red wave, followed by a green wave, followed by a red wave, by the confirmations. Somebody says, you get blurry as well. Man, Everybody just wants to complain today. I am sorry. Sandpiper22 says, Verge isn't a fork of Dogecoin. It is a fork from Bitcoin Purecoin from 3.5 years ago, which means that basically is something totally different and only the baseline is the same. Well, I might be confusing that then with a different coin. Somebody says, 88 is on a breakout, dude. Check it out. We're already looking at many breakouts here. Mohammed El-Arabi says, is Encash price easily manipulated? We've seen a lot of manipulation with Encash recently. Let's see what else. Somebody says, do Zilliqa, Elon. We got a ton of requests, but I don't want to go into too much on this one video. It's already been 25 minutes, and we want to be graceful for the people watching after this. But thank you guys for watching today. I hope this added some value, and I think that's going to be it for today. We're going to be diving into some more technical analysis over the next couple of days. And if you're on Patreon, stay up to date with our trade alerts, as I am watching the market with about 7 coins right now that are potentially going to be breaking out. And other than that, thank you all for watching once again. My name is Naeem Al-Abaidi, and like always, snipers out.